Warmest greetings to all of you, our Passionist family. It's been a year with lockdowns that we thought would never end, and here in Sydney with the new spread of the COVID, it still isn't ending. But in another way, it's a year that has flown by so quickly that we wonder where the time has gone, really. I know that the year of COVID and the pandemic has brought so much heartache and so much anxiety and so much sadness to so many. And so as Christmas comes, there is so much of this past year we're glad to leave behind, and so much we'll never, we hope at least never to see again. But even with that, at the same time, it's been a year when we have learned so much about ourselves and our capacities. We've learned so much about our family and how important it is, our families. We've learned so much about strangers and how kind we can be to one another. We've learned so much about our faith and how essential it is, and how perhaps we've taken it so much in the past for granted. We've learned so much about how wonderful it is just being together, and how much we miss it when we can't. We've learned about how not to be busy, and so we've learned something about our own inner journey. We've learned how fragile we can be, but we've also learned how resilient we are. The pandemic itself, the COVID, it's made us realise how connected we are throughout the world, how small our world is, and how connected we are and how responsible for each other. But as well as the COVID, this year has also brought bushfires. It's brought the death of billions of our wonderful, unique wildlife. In our countries across the province, it's brought floods and cyclones and mudslides, rising sea levels. And all these have taught us just how precious this earth of ours is and how responsible we are for it. The continuing crimes and scandals that have been in the church, locally and globally, and the ongoing suffering of so many survivors, keep reminding we clergy and we religious of how precious the bond of trust is, and how easily and how badly it can be destroyed and broken. And yet for you, our Passionist family, your continuing loyalty and your understanding and forgiveness has kept, it's been one of the things that have kept our Passionist, our vowed Passionist brothers and sisters going. So yes, it's been quite a year, and yet all that we've experienced this year, all the good and the bad, all that we've learned this year, all that's been challenging us to do better and be better, in fact, it was already there and is already there to be seen in that child born in Bethlehem and wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying on stable straw, with Mary and Joseph a bit perhaps shell-shocked and exhausted, and with cattle and shepherds and angels and kings appearing out of the night to tell them that everything would be okay. And so this Christmas, all we Passionists of Holy Spirit Province in all of our 4 countries want to thank all of you, our Passionist family, our friends, for being once again this year such great and such wonderful companions to us. We've journeyed through this year together, sometimes online, sometimes in person, sometimes through phone calls or emails, but you've been there for us, and I hope that we've been able to be there for you too, in all sorts of ways and at all sorts of levels. And so to my Passionist brothers in the congregation, in all of our communities, in each of our countries, And especially to you, our brothers who are not able to live in community just at the moment, for our deacons and newly ordained spread through parishes in Vietnam, for Valencius in Vonimo and Francis Xavier in Bougainville, for Tiernan and in London and John Oram in Chicago. To all of our brothers, I want to thank you for this year that we've had together and for the way we've able, even though we couldn't visit or see each other physically, the way we've been able to be present to one another in so many ways and supporting each other through this very difficult year. I'd also like to thank our Passionist sisters who share with us and work with us so closely. Our Sisters of the Cross and Passion and our Passionist Sisters of St. Paul of the Cross, especially in Melbourne, in Adelaide, here in Sydney, in Saigon and in Papua New Guinea, in Vonimo. It's so wonderful that you are our sisters and that we can share our vowed religious life together. And we thank all of you, the members of our various parishes, those who work with us, our staff and our volunteers. We thank all of you who look after our conference centres, who look after our Passionist Youth Retreat team, who look after our foundation, who look after our English language school, who help us with our ministries that come away in Holy Cross. We thank all of you for being there with us, and all of you who, near or far away, have been our friends and our benefactors. Each of you and all of you mean so much to us. All of us, as the Passionist family, look forward now to our year of Jubilee, our 300 years. We're looking forward to that. It's going to be a very different Jubilee to what we've planned, but I guess that first Christmas was very different to what Mary and Joseph had planned too. And yet, in our hearts, we know that Christmas was God coming down in heaven to be with us and to stay with us. And as we look back, there were times when Christ felt close this past year, times when all we could do was just keep on believing that he was close, but always he's been there. And so, on behalf of all of our Passionist brothers in the Holy Spirit province, we hope that this Christmas will be a time of peace and joy for you, that you will be able to leave the anxiety behind and enter into the peace of Christmas. And may our loving God keep you, your families, your loved ones, keep us all in this precious world of ours safe in 2021. God bless you all.